So I'm going to talk about what else. You have so many decisions you can do in your life, but every decision you do costs something. And a little bit about me, so you can see where I'm coming from with my little things, if I can. Oh, it works. So, who's the little kid up here? So, when I was 5 years old, all the doctors told my parents that I'm basically useless. Because I was so many years behind in my education, so many things I just couldn't do right. And because of like a few illnesses and stuff that I had as a childhood, and I never let that bring me down. For example, I have like really strong asthma, and as a child I loved to play football, but football and asthma is like not that great together. So I was always the fastest child on the running ground, and at the end of the game I was dead, but I loved it. And that's kind of the attitude I had throughout my whole life. And last year I traveled the world. So I started in New Zealand and I stopped in Australia, and unfortunately I stuck there for 9 months, where I learned from the best photographer in Australia. And that's also the reason why I had the idea for this talk, because now when I'm coming back, there are so many things I actually can do, but everything I do costs me something else. So now my decision was to be learning a marketing agency and learning way more about how visual things work, because I'm really fascinated by that. So or not. So you have about 80 years to live. So of those 80 years, what do you want to do? What do you really want to do? Do you want to have amazing things done by yourself? Do you want to have a big family? Like, ask that yourself. What do you want to do in those 80 years you have? Maybe some of us have way less than that, and some of us live up to 100 years. So it's really a question you have to ask yourself. What do you want to do with that time? Because everything will cost you something. You can work at Starbucks and get like 10 euros an hour. Or you can work for yourself and get for the first half a year nothing. And everyone is asking you, do you maybe want to start working someday? But at the same time, when you go through that and when you learn from your mistakes, you can get way more money than those 10 euros an hour. And also, it's not all about the money. When you ask yourself, do you decide your own plans yourself? Or did your parents or other people tell you, oh, you should get a doctor. Oh yes, I make a doctor degree, that would be nice. But you want to be an artist and make some crazy paintings nobody heard before you. And it's really a question of what do you want to do with your time? So it's really important that you value your own time. So what I've seen was it's really important that you have like a morning routine where every day, like half an hour in the morning, you can do meditation, you can eat a schedule, but just knowing what you're doing when you start your day, because it can change so much within you. When you have this mental space freed up to do things you actually care about, and also an evening routine for the same reason, and maybe not. And one important point here, you sleep 41% of your life, you are sleeping. When you sleep on average 8 hours a night. And I'm sure many of you don't sleep 8 hours a night. And that just puts in perspective. Do you use your time right? Because there's one thing you have to ask yourself. What else? What else can you do? What else? Right now, for example, you could be at home, eating chips, drinking some Coke, watching some Netflix. But you're actually here. You want to learn something. And that brings you into a category of people that will have a way better life than the average person. Just because you want to learn more. And when you ask yourself, what else can you do? Just ask yourself one thing. What would you do if you couldn't fail? If you really go out there, go after your goal, and there's nothing that can stop you. Thank you.